All right, hey everybody. Thank you for waiting. Wanted to make sure I got all the links out to all the social media contacts and everything that I had put in place. I got it out. For one, I usually never get it out to Facebook. I don't. I'm the type of person that I like to keep my professional life separate from my personal life. So I actually never put anything on Facebook, but today I did. And probably mainly the reason is because it's 3:15 in the morning. That is Central Standard Time. And I put the other two out. Of course, I put her link out, and of course, I put mine's link out. So, what I wanted to do today with this current video was a couple things. Wow, was it a day for crypto? That's for sure. It was a very weird day for crypto. That's for sure. I wanted to be honest, I wanted to sit and scalp all day. And it became very apparent that that was not going to be obvious. And I wanted to kind of take a look at some of the whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano or I think what else I was trying to trade. I was trying to trade Zcash. I was trying to say Dash. I was trying to trade Monero. There was a couple different things I was trying to trade on MetaTrader 4. Or at least I was looking at trading on MetaTrader 4. And I didn't exactly get to where I wanted to. But I did learn about a new coin that I think will be entering the, well, it already actually entered the market, and I think it will be doing some things that could probably be looking into, and it's, it started off a couple weeks ago at the high price, about $8, highest price as about $8. Right now it's about $3 and something, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. First, what I wanted to do is, in case you are wondering what I do, my name is Tyler. I call myself Ted. Everybody knows me as Ted. I'm Ted. Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. If you want to call me that, I don't really care. Ted just a nickname that I picked up. But what I do is I do this channel called Bodies and Wicks, and what a body and a wick is, it is a candle. And what I do is I teach smart money. Now, what smart money is basically what you're trying to do is you're going against the grain of retail trading. Retail trading meaning that people find typical support and resistance, and they trade based off those levels. And sometimes they find some good trades, and sometimes they don't. What I look at is a different type of trading. I look at it as a way, as if I was a market maker. If I was somebody who had millions and billions of dollars, and I was going to take somebody who had money like you and me, who maybe, who knows, maybe you're a market maker watching me, wondering what people like me are thinking. But what I like to do is I like to take those type of mindsets, and I like to put them into practice. And I like to think, okay, if I'm going to be this type of person, if I'm going to be this type of institution, what's going to happen whenever price gets to this point, or what's going to happen at this point, and yada yada yada. So that being said, if you are a fan of things like that, which in turn, what it eventually does is it you know, it show you how to get you know, get below liquidity points, and enter in on certain specific areas, to where you know liquidity's already been taken care of, and then now it's going to go back the opposite way as to where you may have been thinking it's going to go up from that point, but instead it goes down. And that's what we kind of look for. Kind of look for things that are going to be looking for diving down, rather than just continuously going up. So if that's something that you enjoy and you think you would like to learn more about, what I would like you to do is do me a huge favor and do this thing called subscribe. There's a subscribe button down in the bottom right hand corner, I think, on, not for sure exactly where it is. And if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. If you just want to listen to this video and you think I'm full of baloney, that's fine. The least you could do is at least give me a like. You know, if you give me a like, it helps me cut through the YouTube. It helps me cut through the YouTube algorithms, and that will, you know, at least expose me to a little bit more people, to understand what this all means. That being said, all right, let's just go ahead and jump on into what is going on in today's charts. So first, of course, everybody, you know, number one, of course, Bitcoin, right? Everybody wants to talk about Bitcoin, and so let's just go ahead and jump on into Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin actually was a really interesting day today. And if you weren't exactly for sure how to play it, I would say, but you know, it depending on what you were looking for, I would say back off, because it was a very interesting day. And the reason I say that is because I looked at it from multiple different standpoints. I looked at it from a daily, a 4-hour, a 1 hour, and a 15-minute, and I want to see where it's at now because I haven't taken a look at it in a while. And I want to see what's been going on with it. Right now I am in the 4-hour chart. I don't care about managing drawings, well, I probably should care. I do have a lot of drawings, and that's because I like to mark anything and everything that I can find that could possibly make price turn and or make price go a different way. So here we have, you know, way back up here, back in back in here February 21st, we made a really big high of about 58,000, right? Boom, fell back right back off, right? And then it came back down to what was it, around 43, right? And this is where I was afraid. I was honestly afraid it was going to get down into here. It didn't. It was a good thing. So getting up in areas, and now what people were asking me about today was about, hey, what's Bitcoin going to be doing today? Is it going to be higher? Is it going to be lower? And what I noticed is that after doing a lot of research, not a lot of research, but you see this big green candle right here, right? Big green candle over to your right. And this is a 4-hour chart, mind you, 4-hour chart. After it makes its highest high, comes back down, right? It makes a low, makes a high, and makes a lower low. This is what is considered a technically a breaker, right? Now breakers, what usually happen whenever you get up to those breakers, or even at the the bearish order block, which had been way back down here. So I have the bearish order block basically encased all the way in a big box that's purple, right? And then I also have, if we want to get into a little bit deeper of conversation, I have the 1 hour bearish order block, which is the last up candle, right? Last up candle without the wick, that is going straight across. It overlaps actually with the 4 hours. So these are two areas that I would be watching. Basic those, guess what will happen? It would reach, right? So that's what happened here. It trace. Now thing is that I think on Wednesday, when I've read in my video, I think I pointed this out, and I wanted to get to an entry, and I put out an entry on Tuesday or Wednesday. Is it hit on? So, and that entry was right here, right? It was at, if I can't, at 46,000, 56,325. I want to, give or take, you know, the split of the difference, or the split of what the broker take. I saw this as an opportunity to go along, and the reason I saw that as an opportunity to go along, and I will walk you through this if you haven't seen my video before. What happened is that you had this huge, and this was on FOMC day, right? FOMC day was when the dollar crashed. So when the dollar crashed, everything else went above. Now, what do you have in this big area? It looks just like one big large green candle, right? That's not necessarily what is actually happening. That is also what is considered a gap, you know, a gap, because we don't know if prices jumped up so high that it was skipping over prices or not. We don't really know that. All we see is what TradingView gives us. So there could be prices being skipped in between here, and because there is prices being skipped in between there, guess what? They have to return back to those prices to try to fill in those gaps. Anybody that's a stock trader knows any things about filling gaps. Filling gaps is just part of it does. So what I did is I did take the last up close candle from here, right? So you have another breaker. So you have a low, a high, you have a lower, right? So I took that last high, entered it out in time, right? And I put this where I thought it would touch and continue moving forward. I got lucky. I nailed that entrance. I can't even tell you that. Well, I mean, part of it's luck. Part of it is also knowing what to look for ahead of time. So, knowing the fact that there is a gap in between these two, right? And that price is more than likely going to, especially if it's like this, price is going to try to come down to at least halfway through this gap, right, to get some kind of propulsion up forward. It's not going to just, you know, it's going to pull back and try to fill in those gaps. And so it pulled back, got into that area, and then took off after. I had my buy set stop, or my buy limit set, got in trade. Now the scary thing is that it is about to close on this trade. It did get pretty high. The thing with this Bitcoin though is that again, you have your bearish order block. You have a daily bearish order block that had a medium threshold, right? And then you also had a 4-hour bearish order threshold. So price continued to come up to it and then rally down. Then once it got to a point, which called it for it to go up. And again, as you can see here, there are certain areas that I did take profit because I wasn't for sure if get above this, especially whenever you see this high and then you see two equal highs right next to each other in a 4-hour chart, and it doesn't get higher than that. So I took profit here. Could have waited a little bit longer and maybe took profit here, but it is what it is. And so now what's happening here is that it's doing the same thing. It's coming up and it's hitting these bearish order blocks. Bearish order blocks are keeping the prices down. Hitting those bearish order blocks and trying to make the fall below those. Now, is that going to stay forever? I don't think. Worst, I think that, well, I mean, it's already happened. Okay, so the worst I think that could happen would for it to get at this line right here, which should be halfway point of the fair value gap. I think that would be probably sinister move, not sinister, but the most conducive move, even though it's very similar to this one here. I don't really see Bitcoin taking a dive even farther down. Look further down Bitcoin, especially on 4-hour. Kind of some equal lows here. Then again, those equal lows are already balanced out by an order block. So an order block being your last down red candle, right? Last, oh, what? Whatever. Bitcoin. Screen. You have is bit here. You have a bullish order block that is formed right here. What is a bullish order block? A bullish order block is a last down candle for an explosive up move. Is basically it in technical, most basic I can put it. What that usually signifies, especially if it does not get above a high. So let's just say, okay, it did get above an intermediate high, but there's also another intermediate high right here. It did not get above the two. So what am I looking for? Looking for it to trace it back. This bearish order block. And once it hits the shorter block, what does it do? Boom, it takes off, right? It takes off the bullish order block, or it takes off from this bullish order, comes back down into my optimal trade entry. But we are possibly getting stopped out. I don't want that to happen. But possible. Just for good measure, I do take off one more position off. No, don't close it. Close it. I'm gonna modify. Never let. Okay, here. Partial close. Close it with one, just in case it does come down, and close. You know, basically what I did is I put my stop loss above my entry level. That way, in case it did come down and hit my entry level, I didn't lose any money. So I took profit, quite a bit up here. Where's the arrow? Can't find the arrow. Anyways, you guys saw it earlier. I can't find it right now. I did take profit at a specific point. Now I'm just hoping it doesn't get down to the, and we'll see what happens after that. But I think Bitcoin, don't see much sell side liquidity for this. Don't see anything below this. Extreme hay. A lot of people trying to buy it this. Maybe we should try to get to it. Through it. That way they're paying. Not only are their payments trades getting taken, they're also not. It's not getting the confidence of the traders who are putting a kind of time and effort into Bitcoin. So to me, it takes a lot to look at Bitcoin to see what's going to happen. And right now, if you were to ask me, I think we're probably going to even go lower. I don't even know. The Bitcoin have very, very interesting. Other than that, I think we're doing okay with Bitcoin, especially if we move up and out area. Then we gotta look for another take profit, whether it be a small one, whether it be a large one. My ultimate goal is previous. But that being said, to Ethereum, since that is the new coin, Ethereum was interesting as well. I jumped in a little bit early on my own personal, I wouldn't say on my own personal event, personal wanting to trade Ethereum. I think that is a good market. When I first jumped in at Ethereum at 1851.44. I think it got all the way up to 1858 before it came back down. Reason I jumped out of that trade after it hit 1858. Yep, came all the way up to 18, whatever it was, and I didn't see it came in, it filled some of these gaps, but then once you get some of these gaps filled, what it likes to do is it likes to, so I got some like gaps filled, but I didn't see any. These guys need that. Then got, I don't know how to explain, but all I know is that I saw that there was bearish movement coming, and that I jumped out of the trade. I didn't make much. I only made 80 something cents or something like that. If we want to look at what my payday was for today, I can show you, and I'm not afraid to show you just because there's nothing for me to hide. I trade at the lowest pips possible, but I am getting better at doing this. Trying to figure out where it. That being said, I put in basically a fake, I wouldn't say fake, but a paper trader at the same exact spot. I haven't closed any of it yet, just because I do feel like we have some upcoming movement. One of the main reasons I feel like we do have some upcoming movement, a couple of different reasons. Again, fair value gaps, always a big reason. Number two, fair value gaps that did get filled. There we go. Anyway, I think Ethereum will eventually start, slowly but surely, probably start making its way up during the middle of the night, and happen whenever done to the nitty gritty of things. It didn't mean to hit that button. As far as tomorrow is concerned, now I know Sunday is a lot of volatility, just because it is the end of the week. So full actual opens as far as Zealand is concerned and Japan is concerned, and that so people, I'm not how exactly trades work over there, but I know we all know crypto is traded 24/7, but you know there are some people that do old school stuff when it comes to trading. And what they will do is they will wait until They wait until the bell opens, and they will wait until, you know, all these things get started, which is actually not a bad idea. So what I like to do, especially when it comes to crypto analysis and Ethereum and Bitcoin and things like that, it's really kind of hard to time when these trades are going to come, right? So the best thing to do is to follow the guidelines that what I use online, that have been used by the Inner Circle Trader. The Inner Circle Trader uses certain things called kill zones, and you can look them up online on his YouTube. Look up Inner Circle Trader, right? And what you can do is just type in ICT kill zone, right? And then you'll get a kill zone for London session, which usually occurs in between 1 a.m. and about 4 a.m., 5 a.m., something like that. Now, this meaning that usually at one point during this time, it will get a turn in the market, right? You get a turn in the market, and then it'll go down toward the New York Open. And then once the New York Open turns, what usually happens is that you'll usually get either a continuation. It'll start slowing down around 5 to 6 a.m. and that is going to be Central Standard Time. Things will start slowing down around 5-6 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then after that, what will happen is that start seeing a lot of different you start to see things start moving around, right? You know, things back, they move forward, they pull back, move forward, and then kind of get caught in this web of you don't really know what to trade until about usually somewhere around 8:30 Eastern. Sorry, 8:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, and then once that happens, there's usually going to be some kind of big kind of flood or kind of movement at that point. That's going to go in a certain direction. Now, generally right after that, probably within the next 30 minutes to hour and a half, is that you could see price either change direction completely, or what you could see is a continuation of that price. All going to depend on your analysis of what you have done, on what the pair is, on what the crypto is, on if you think it's going to be bearish or bullish. The main thing to pick out here is to try to figure out if it's going to be a bullish or a bearish day. Right? If you can figure out if it's going to be a bullish or a bearish day, then you have pretty much the upper hand. Now, to teach you how to get a bullish or a bearish day is not an easy trick. You have to put in a lot of work. You have to put in a lot of tests. You have to put in a lot of back studying. If anybody who knows Inner Circle Trader, who put out a video on Friday night, asked for just a quick assignment, and this works across all platforms. It works across all assets. What it does is it basically goes from, you know, the New York kill zone, or the London kill zone, to the New York kill zone, and maybe the London close, and some with a New York close, but not. But what you would like to try to find is a trade entry. The optimal trade entry, whenever you measure a Fibonacci from one point, you know, low point to a high point. Now, when it falls down into 70 or the % range, 1.8 as most people use, to the 79 range, a 79% range. When most of that action takes place, it will reverse and move the opposite. I would encourage people to also use that, for crypto as well. And the reason I say that to use that for crypto is because I did the same thing for Bitcoin, right? So whenever I say, this is one of the entries that I nailed for Bitcoin. The reason I nailed this entry for Bitcoin is because at the time, whenever I called this, I want the hour. Okay, so right here, actually, okay, so what I did is I pulled the fib, right? And when I pull the fib, I don't pull it from this low, I pull it from this low, right? Because that is the last low that it made before it took off. So you have this low, yeah, of course, yeah, but what you have is this big red candle that pushes down before it pushes. That right there is considered an order block, in a sense. So that means that whenever price returns back to that level, it should absolutely be a bullish sign. So what I mean by bullish sign is that once it gets back to the level, it should turn around and go the opposite. But it doesn't have to get to that. What has to happen that get to either below this 8.8% or 1.8%, or near the 70.5%. At the very lowest, it's going to get at the 70.9%. As you can see, at the 70.9%, right, the 0.79%, you see that red right there, that red candle pushing down, causing that bearish order block to form. So yes, it could have easily reached down into here. Could have easily reached down. But the reason I didn't think it was going to is because there's a lot of other factors into play. Fair value gaps, things like that. One, this big opening right here, this breaker right here, so this is low, a high, a low, so this breaker cross, and so I just found this as the entry. That being said, I found this perfect entry. And it ended up being one of the best entries I think I've ever made. I made a lot of good entries, but the problem is right now is that, especially if we get down to 4 hour of Bitcoin, is that right now it's trading sideways. It's been trading sideways for quite some time. Rid of this. Then order block right here. And of course, it comes up into order block. It keeps getting rejected. I keep hitting the space bar, and that's my fault. Sorry, guys, for hitting the space bar. Sometimes my hands get a little bit too crazy, and I want to hit the space bar. I just want to tap and tap and tap and tap. I don't want to do any other button but the space bar. I just want the space bar. That's it. The space bar and one. usually have to go with Coinbase, because that is the recognized one. So of course, coming up to these levels, and when it comes to levels, it gets rejected. So once it gets rejected, it gets down lower, and then once it gets lower, of course it up. So I'm interested to see what is going to happen Bitcoin at this price. If it's going to actually try to get below a certain point, I want to see it get to right here. I want to see it get to this bullish order block right here. Fun. We play games, just coordinates already. All right, there we go. So if Bitcoin is to somehow start dropping, gets below my stop loss, I'm going to be looking for it at this, where this red candle, right, where it pushes down and pushes back up, because where the mitigation concern, this is where the mitigation happens, where the people with deep pockets will drop a lot of money. That's always been explained to me, and I'll explain it to you again. If you ever watch my channel, I'll do it all over again, and just so you can, if you've never watched my channel, this is the best way to understand smart money, right? So what happens is that let's say you a short position, right? You have a short position right here, right? At that the top of the red the candle, the top of the red candle. Why? Because right at that point, that is when they're going to put in their order that's going to drop it. And they put their order in there at that. Not only is it going to put it in an order that's going to drop it, what it's going to do is that it's going to they're going to leverage trade it. They're going to leverage trade it so that it's going to be made to seem as if it's going to be traded lower than what it should be, right? So because of these people know that they can drop the money and to make it get lower, and also leverage trade it to get lower, what they want to do is they want to get in on a better price. So even if they drop all this money and they leverage trade it and whatnot, that's not going to mean anything whenever it comes to this point right here and they buy right here. And what do? They make all this money right here. So they could lose out all this money. Now, here's the thing. Now, whenever they drop this, right, and they keep this as a leverage trade, they have huge deep pockets. They can go millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in the red. And here's the thing, once it gets back down to this area where it's going to be in the red, what could happen is that they're going draw in a little bit of a different way, because Actually, I probably should be putting that there. I should put in this, right? Because that's probably where they're going to be buying from. Of course, they're going to be buying from here after they've dropped it from, right? So that makes sense, right? So doesn't make sense is when they short it, right, from here. Didn't make sense. Hold on. Yeah. Short it from here. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was right in the first. Short it from here. Okay. Here is where they actually long. They go long. So now they know where it's going to be placed. They probably only get it to about right here. Right. They'd place the trade up until there. They would let go of that trade, and that way they would would hold on to it and wait for it to come back down in this level here. Or it could have already started here, right? And this is what we're seeing right now. And this is what is making me kind of concerned. Not really concerned, but wondering if this is what caused this in the first place. This big red candle here, right, is now getting into this area right here. So Bitcoin could have possibly or at least F2 pools, mining, you know, people that have the big miners, whatever, whenever they do their big sell-offs or whatever, sell-off, they leverage trades, make it seem like it's going to go a lot lower than what it is. They buy it up for price higher, then they trade, they make their money, and then wait for it to come back down into that area. They wait for it to come back down into that area where they can release the trade. They can release the trade. What? Now it's all profit that they've made from going from here to here, right? And they've made, it may have taken some time. You know, they may have lost a little bit in spot fees and that, but it's not going to be nearly as much. That is my understanding of smart money, and that's the way it's been. So if you can kind of get your head around that concept about how smart money works, think about it like that. The best way to think about smart money. That being said, I think we already think over. I think we went over Ethereum. No, actually, I don't think we went over Bitcoin. Ethereum has been one of the ones kind of escape. Actually, you know what? I made a good trade on Ethereum today, but once I saw the signs that it was going to race, I jumped out of the trade. I didn't make much. I only made about $1. That's fine, whatever. I made some money. I'm cool. So, and here was the thing: is I think I put it in. Where was it at? 1851.44. 1851.44 is where I decided. Well, that was minus the one. So that is like right around in here where I decided to, well, yeah, exactly. I tried to recreate what I then once I started looking at the analytics from over here and all the fair value gaps and stuff like that, and it was pushing up into those. Once it pushes up into those, it usually acts as almost like a trampoline back downward. So once I started realizing that we're getting up into here and they weren't pulling back and then moving upwards, they were pushing downward, that's when I made a little bit. I made like $1. Wasn't a whole lot, but it was enough for me to say, but I probably shouldn't be in this. Maybe I should probably get out of this and see what I can do. Trying to find something right now. See if I can show you guys a little bit of a better understanding. Happened. Not really about what happened. A part two. Oh wait. Okay, so it's okay. So never mind. It looks like it's picking up. So, that being said, that was my payday for today, which wasn't much. Hey, a little bit is here, a little bit here, a little bit there. As long as I am trying to make sure that I am going in the right direction, I'm not trying to claim I'm the perfect trader. What I am trying to do is I am trying to find the right setups. I'm trying to find right bias. I'm trying to find the right analysis for these specific trades, and those things kind of fit together. Eventually I will start, pushing these out towards people. Not towards people, but I will start putting these into chat rooms and Telegram groups and signal services and that, and hopefully I can become somebody that you guys can look up to as far as making sure that these trades are coming through the way that they should be, right? So, um, here, second, sorry, this, oh, here it is. There it is. Now I can get rid of it. All right. So, um, this was Ethereum, and the reason I have a whole lot of blocks of like kind of things like this with Ethereum is because you have engineered liquidity. Whenever you have engineered liquidity, which means you have equal lows, just be careful because especially when you have a drop like this, right? Gonna do probably gonna pull again. Be wary of big candles because usually what happens is they will pull back into those candles in direction. Same thing with the big green candles. The big green candle kind of pull back a bit. It's gonna sell, then all of a sudden, boom, it's gonna take off and go away. So careful with trades. Okay. Um, said that is ADA. I want to look at Cardano just because Cardano, now that we know it's on Coinbase, um, it has been it has been kind of a force to reckon with. Um, not an easy crypto to gauge. Doesn't really, it knows what it wants to do. It's just kind of unsure how it's going to get their projects starting to are under Cardano, that are moving away from Ether. Um, maybe Ether, Cardano, Polka, maybe they can all work on these projects. I don't know. Maybe that's a new whole crypto ecosystem that is going to. I have no idea. I really don't. But those are just kind of my thoughts on what we doing. Right? So, let's see here. Per hour. All right, I've been taking a look at this. Even though I do have a trend line, I don't believe in trend. But Cardano, I need believe. Not the trend line that's pushing it up to with this sell side liquidity. That it's more like it means liquidity. We do see it drop low. I'm wondering what to do with Cardano. Bottom card. quite a quiet. Got it at 63. And now, well, actually, one of the biggest ones I want to look at is gold. Gold. You can see low, high, lower, low. Now, with that high, probably put that is going to be because that is going to be your breaker here. And because it is your breaker, once it gets down toward the bottom of the breaker, that is when you're going to start seeing the trade start shifting upward. Right? Low, high, low, low. First trading above, or trading up and through the breaker, and gets above the breaker, gets to the bottom of the breaker, boom, goes to again, gets down to the bottom of the breaker, boom, go. The here, paper trade going on here with Cardano. Not sorry, not Cardano, but doing fairly well on it. I think fiat currencies are coming to an end. That being said, no, not everybody's a Bitcoin maximist. No, not everybody is. You know, all of these are going to have to work in conjunction together. Study anything about economics throughout the history of time. There's always a trade and barter system, right? There's always some kind of way for people to exchange goods and services. And the easiest way to do that was up money. Now, the only thing that makes up money, and what trustworthy for money is that people believe that it's backed by states. And the only thing that is really backing the United States with US dollar is petrodollar. So if gas prices stay up, the United States might stay afloat because everybody has to change their currency to the United States currency before they can purchase oil. That's just part of rules. That's just part of regulations. But Russia were to start drilling and getting its own oil, and let's say hey, kind of think of some country, hey Serbia or hey Ukraine or something like that. How about I sell you the oil that I have for a quarter of the price that the United States has, and we can use our local currencies, or we can use Bitcoin to exchange that. What that's going to do is that's going to inflame the United States because they're not getting their money support. Get a conflict. So this is one of the things that we kind of have to avoid. First, you have to figure out by ear, try to figure out how to play it safe, or and I know I'm kind of getting off track here, but thing I'm trying to get at is with gold anyway. Gold is almost the exact opposite of the dollar, right? Gold is pretty much anytime you see a price move up in gold, you'll probably see it move down in dollar. I mean, dollar, you'll price gold. Not always exactly the exact same amount. It's pretty similar. Gold, gold is a precious metal that has always been around for the longest time. Proved to it worth something. Thing was is that like when all the Kingsmen and all that good stuff um gave it to the locksmith, they put all our gold in away in a vault, make sure our gold is locked away. And then it was those people that kind of turned on the Kingsmen and said, how about we loan you this and then we get so much of a percentage return, and thus became loan investment. And then people started realizing that it wasn't the actual gold that they actually needed, it was the piece of paper. So people started using, hey, here's a contract, I'm gonna loan you X amount of gold. Actuality really happened. Pay it back to me with a certain amount of months plus interest. So banking system started. Kind of getting off of that banking system, and we are getting on to crypto system. It's getting a little bit more interesting. But that being said, gold's I really don't know gold's market cap. Honestly, maybe I can. I don't want to waste too much time on here. I know I've already taken up a lot of your time already. Or what I want to do actually instead. So here's what's happened with gold. Look for is you want to look for lows or highs, lows, highs. Came down to this point, it would probably opposite low, lower low. Came back to that trading point, it would fall and through it and down to support, and then it would move. Careful with gold in the and what I'm gonna do is one thing I want to talk to you about, a new crypto that is in town called I'm not AI. If you don't have Gate.io, please do so. It is in the link below in my description. It offers almost every coin you can think of. Sign up using my referral system. Each get 20% of the trading fee, right? So right now, I can tell you right now, I have trading fee from Bondly, and I've gotten trading fees from Paid. I have never traded these at all. So that just goes to show you that there's power behind this, even if it's just a little bit. Hey, it can be worth a lot. Find one of your people that if person to it, refer them. But kind of not even referring, but whatever it is, and to get their friends to code thing. And I will tell you right now what my code is, in case you ever forget and you down. Code is, and if I know the first number is 3. Three one three 7907. 3137907. Ever want to refer me to AIO 3137907. Believe me, it's worth it. It's a trading system. I actually enjoy it. And again, it has a lot of different coins that you would never ever think of that and again, I've probably maybe have only put about 50-60 bucks into this trading system, and I'm already at 100. Already made double the amount what I thought I would. Or some of it has trading, some of it has been, well, primarily from Cardano skyrocketing, Raven coin skyrocketing. Those two actually caught on really great breaks. Frontier kind of not doing so well. Whiteheart kind of not, kind of in the middle again. What else do I? Oh, I just bought the course, the one I just told you about. Which is where I get backed. And PvP, a big data protocol. Big data protocol. Anything has to do with big data, people are going to be buying it. Started off at $8 a share. Right now it's at $3. Okay. So it can, if you want to, which is 0.00014 cents per share. But it's used pick app and all this kind of other bull crap. If you actually want something that's going to be useful and going to be future, I would definitely look in. Can't think of the words right now. It is really tight right now. 4:30 in the morning. Big data protocol. Big data protocol. B data protocol. I wish I had known about Filecoin a long time ago. Of course, we all did. Polkadot, one of the things I got to get into. Of course, Gate.io is just coming out new coins and new Being said, I will get out of here. I won't go over indices tonight. I'll go over indices tomorrow. Indices are going to be probably the lifeblood of going to be happening this. As far as economy is concerned, I know economy. I think we're gonna be okay. I think there's gonna be a lot of panic. I don't think we're gonna kill each other dragging through. Sorry, that probably shouldn't have said that. We probably won't be doing things cause harm to each other because financial crisis has been happening. Hopefully that you check by now. Hopefully that you have taxes by now. That extra cash happen. That being said, what if there's anything else I'm getting? Why, these aren't going to come out until Raven Coin again. Going to be, to me, this is going to be huge deal. Raven Coin, even though I at 21 cents a share, I found that at 6 cents a share. Wish I would have stayed it at, got out at 13 cents a share, because I was like, hey, I made $50, bought a lot of coins and made $7 probably made like $30-something transaction, and then and turned around and saw that it. But Raven Coin thing is what it's meant to do is trade asset to asset. So let's say you have a GameStop stock and you $400 and sell it for $150, whatever it is, GameStop. So your neighbor $100 for $100 paperwork. Going to be interesting this year, all over, and see what happens. Sure. Thank you again for watching entire time. Whoever did watch the entire time, thank you so much. Means a lot to me. I will try to put out more videos like this. I'll try to put out another one tomorrow. I don't have much to do. I like laundry. I'll try to. And please subscribe to the channel. What I would like to do before you do subscribe to the channel is do this one. Boom, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. It helps me cut through the YouTube algorithms. Gets me to put my numbers higher, gets people to see my content more, and makes people understand what smart money is, reaching above liquidity and pulling back and taking out the liquidity, waiting for a second above the liquidity. A lot that goes into smart money people don't realize, and that I'm trying to bring that into the light of retail world, because retail thinks that support resistance, once it gets certain support, by how many times have you bought at support and it went a million times. I lost so much money last year off of just thinking the same thing would happen over and over and over again, and it never did. So if you want to get out of that thinking, want to get into going to be a little bit more valuable, please contact me. I have Patreon, $3 a month. That's all I'm asking. $3 a month. Help me with this channel. And then once you get the $3 a month Patreon, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a signal service by June or July. I want to say by I want to by June, but definitely by July. And then by the time that signal service gets started, happen at that you're going to be seeing me putting out all these different signals. I'm only going to be focusing on a few different things. I'm not going to be all over the place. I'm not going to be doing, Chef JPY. I'm not, Aussie GB. I'm only going to be focusing on your USD, GBP USD, Euro GBP. On what other thing? That's all I got to say for now. Again, thanks again for watching. It means the world to me that you guys are watching this. Again, join my Patreon. I got exclusive videos for my Patreon members. One was last weekend. We did a very in-depth analysis about crypto entries. A lot of them hit this week. Tomorrow I do want to plan on getting another Patreon video out for you guys, and I want to try to actually focus those on indices. I really want to focus this on indices. I'm gonna leave kind of the guessing game up to not Patreon, because I've made pretty good money off indices. Is to be patient. You gotta be baby. Can't let the emotions get the best. That's the thing about trading. Trading is 10% technical, 80% trading. I know that makes 90%. But as the other 10%, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know maybe it's 90% trading, 90%. Either way, trading is a lot of emotion. You don't know heart is racing and not, or so. That being said, I'll stop rambling. I'm rambling a lot. And I'll try to get up early tomorrow and post some times about like when I want to do it. I probably want to do it early afternoon. Okay. If you're a Patreon, hopefully you come watch my stuff. Not, please come Patreon so you can stuff and see you on the dark side, I guess you're. And as always, what you should do, I guess you should do this one thing, and that is called wear. I mean, a mask is an important thing, but wear your pants. Right? Shouldn't you wear your pants?